Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. Well, a couple days ago, it was actually Sunday morning, I woke up, was having coffee, looked at my phone, and looked at the weather app, and there was a dense fog advisory. And I went over to our balcony and looked out, and whoa, yeah, really thick. So what's a good thing to do on a foggy day? And that is go out and take some photographs, because you can obviously get some pretty dramatic images, especially when you live near a couple cemeteries. As I've mentioned before, we live in Forest Park, Illinois. There are more dead people in this town than there are alive people, because it's got a lot of cemeteries. So I went out and took a walk through a couple cemeteries not too far from here. One of them is sort of semi-abandoned. I mean, nobody's been buried there in decades, but there's still some upkeep going on. But the other one's a huge cemetery, mostly Germans, if you look at the names on the headstones. And of course, when these cemeteries got started a long time ago, this was way out and far away from Chicago. So I think they put cemeteries here because there was plenty of place to put cemeteries at the time. Now it's all built up, so they're not going to get any larger. At any rate, so I went out and took some photographs, and I just want to mention, if you're doing fog photos, fog's pretty bright. So you want to use exposure compensation and add up to a stop or so, or maybe even more. Just keep watching your histogram, and if you see your histogram has a pretty big gap between the right side and where the peaks start, you want to give it some more exposure to brighten things up. You can always, if you want to go for the moody effect, you can always darken that later on your computer, but your camera's going to want to make the fog just gray, and the fog, especially with the sun coming through it, is going to be it's going to be a stop brighter than actual gray. The other thing that happens, what you notice is, as the sun rises, because at some point the sun succeeds in burning off the fog, but the fog seems to vary, and sometimes it looks like, oh, the sun might be able to break through and break up the fog, and then all of a sudden the fog closes in again, and your exposure changes. So it was kind of an interesting day. I used my G9, my 12 to 35 f2.8 and my 35 to 100 f2.8. I also used a new lens. It's a mystery lens, and I'm going to show some images here, and you probably will be able to pick out which ones of the images were not shot with either of the two lenses that I named. So yeah, I recently purchased a new lens. In the next video, I will be talking about that and why I bought it. So if you can tell which image it is, pop that down in the comments. If you have a guess as to what lens I bought, pop that down in the comments. If it was a big YouTube channel, I could probably give something away for this, but I'm not, so sorry. You get bragging rights. Anyway, here are the images. Thank you for watching. If this is interesting, helpful to you, please hit the like button. And any questions, comments, critiques, hey, pop them down below. I respond to those on a timely basis. I'm Todd Banner. Here's the slideshow. I will see you next time.